Welcome, City Skyline players and fans, to Capital City. Alright, today what we're going to do, we're going to add yet another suburban neighborhood in this area right here. These roads right here were left over from when this was a rural county area, and we'll say developer bought all this land here after they laid these interstates out, and we're going to put in a neighborhood here. So first thing we need to do is connect this road over this interstate. This interstate spur will go up this mountain, or up this into this tile up right here, and then probably off the map right here. Either that, or we'll have it turn into a two-lane highway and go off the map that direction. First thing we need to do here is we're going to connect this road with a pass. Now the way this would work out, I mean, this is still, it's close to the city, but it's still far enough out. It's out into the farmland, so they wouldn't use a pillars or anything like they did here, because this is an interchange, so that would be a little bit different. This they would just use the standard earthworks. They would just mount up dirt and put it over the top of the interstate that way. So we're going to run this to the edge. There we go. And then we'll use move it. Now there's multiple ways you can do this. Some people build it up using, they build the road up using anarchy as they elevated, and then they change it to ground after that, and then smooth it out. This is how I like to do it. I just raise it up to what looks appropriate. That's about right, I think. And then switch to elevated. That tells me how many feet it is. That's yeah, it's 20 feet, so that's about right. It's actually a little high, but we'll leave it at that. And then I move it and grab this object height to this object here, and that automatically moves it up. And then I just take one side or the other. I'm going to use this one because it has a smaller, well, I actually connected those two nodes together, so that works perfectly. So we'll raise this up to where we got a nice slope. And again, move it does have a slope function, but I think using your eye, you can kind of do it that way. And then I just do the same thing here. I just grab this next node and object height right here. It automatically creates the slope. They're pretty identical. I mean, they're a little different, which they can be. There's nothing saying that it has to be perfect, but they look pretty good. And then just check the road here to see that's a 20 feet, but that was way too small. So I should have checked it before I did that, but that's okay. We'll raise that up a little bit, and maybe a little bit more. Alright, and then grab this node here. Object height. And then again, have to go through and raise it, kind of smooth it out. That actually didn't really look too bad, but I would think that with these neighborhoods right here, they would make it a gradual. It wouldn't be too steep of an incline there, because people may want to walk over to the harbor or something like that, so they wouldn't want it to be too steep. There. Now we've got this a little bit too close. That's the reason why you get a little bit of the blue in there, which we can move that. We'll get that taken care of here in a second. There we go. That looks pretty good. So the next step here is to, well, we'll go ahead and move this off just to get that. All you do is pull that back a little bit, grab that node and pull it back. Yeah, try to keep it as straight as possible, and that will eliminate that blue clipping in there. And the next thing we want to do is grab the terrain tool and we'll pull this out a little bit. We want to do this at a couple different heights along the slope. There we go. And there. And this terrain tool works pretty good there. And then go into the, I don't know whether they call it softening or feathering, softening tool. And you want to soften this, maybe cut that down to 0.5 or close to 0.5, and soften this a little bit. Try to get rid of as much of the rough edges as possible. Personally, I don't think that you should get rid of all of it, just because I think there would be a little bit of it here, depending on the area, depending on the terrain itself in the area there, and how much room they had to work with when they built the overpass. But the more of it that you eliminate, the better it looks. There we go. Turn that train off. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. And then we'll do some landscaping here and see what it looks like. You can always go back and work on it a little bit more, but I think that looks pretty good. All right, do some landscaping here. We'll grab some vegetation. This needs to be set to single. I always like to use a couple different types just because it makes it look a little bit more realistic. These are terrain following. They will adapt to the angle and the slope of the terrain. They don't work perfectly, but they do work very well. There we go. And then maybe grab another one, another type. There are different sizes too, so you can get in tucked in a little bit closer. My problem is if you put them underneath the road, they do show up when you zoom out. So you don't want to really put them underneath the road. Like if you put it under here, sometimes they show up on there. So I try not to do that too much. Alright, we'll go back to the larger one here. Actually, I think it was this one we were using. Yeah. And There we go. And then add some, check out the zoning for the homes in this area. That actually looks pretty good. It doesn't interfere with their zoning at all. Once the house builds there, you may have to go in and take a look at it and see if it's something that you need to modify or change, but that looks pretty good. I'm going to go through and upgrade these roads now. There, upgrade that, and now that we've upgraded, I should have upgraded those first. We got to pull some of this vegetation back a little bit. I mean, it would grow over the road a little bit, but not nearly as much as what it's shown here. There. And then, yeah, pull that back. Pull that back, and there we go. That looks pretty good. Alright, so just add some trees in here. And you don't really want a lot. Number one, they would have had to destroy some of them in order to build this overpass. So you don't want a lot of older, mature trees in this area because they would have been destroyed, and then they probably, planted new trees back when they were finished, but they definitely wouldn't be mature trees in all of the. So maybe leave a couple little tall trees out here where they left them standing, like I did with these. They left them standing when they left when they put the road in. All right, that looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do another neighborhood right here. And I think with this small of an area here, we're just going to go ahead and do a standard grid pattern. Instead of doing decorative neighborhood or decorative roads, I think we're just going to do a standard grid here, at least the best we can. We do need to connect this main road with this intersection here. So we will do this, so there will be a little S there, but I think we're going to just do the standard grid. So let's go ahead and upgrade this here. This was an existing road, so they would have just left it. They wouldn't have. Well, I guess they could have moved it, but if they could work it into the plans, it would have made more sense to do it that way. And then we'll come off this intersection here. And that doesn't work quite as nicely as what I was hoping. But we'll see, we'll move it if we could maybe work some magic here and kind of get this to Gotta get this to look a little better. Yeah, there we go. That actually looks very nice now. Yeah, nice and smooth. Traffic would probably barely have to slow down. Yeah, very nice area there. That is very nice. So what we'll need to do is we'll go ahead and form a grid pattern in here. Let's see here. What I want to do is make this particular neighborhood, very walkable. So I'm thinking that we want to leave enough room for 3 spaces and then a walking path and then three other spaces after that. So we want to come in that way. And we'll come this road here. But what I want to do is put a walking path in here. Between the houses, between the rows of houses. So what we can do is come over. Yeah, I think that's going to work perfectly. And come into the walking path for the park. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm wanting to do there. So then, extend this road over. Not quite that much, but we'll fix that here in a minute. We'll turn the snap to off. Okay, perfect. So obviously fix this area right there. And then we'll come down. I'm thinking that I want to do some commercial right here at some point, but I'm not sure how far off this main road. I'm thinking of maybe just having an entrance in and then splitting directly off. So I don't want to come all the way over there. Back these a little bit. And then maybe do stick and go for it. A little bit closer. I'm thinking right here. Yeah, that would give me enough room to work with there. Because I also want a walking path in there. So we want to connect this. Oh, the snap 2 is not on. That's the reason why I wouldn't grab that. Alright, that looks good. And then we'll go through on this side and we'll do the same thing. Bring this down, and guidelines interfering there. Okay. And we do the same thing. We want 3 on each side. Once we put this walkway in. Get the zoning. Well, actually it did not. Because maybe this is an overflow. There. 3 on each side, so that works perfectly. And then we learned our lesson, so we'll put the walkway in first. So then we'll go in and put the road in after the walkway. There we go. And so I think we'll go one more over. Actually, probably going to need a center road here. And a center road, which is okay. It's going to destroy a section of these walkways, but we can put no big deal. And then have this road put a walkway in. Right there. And have the last segment of the road right there. Yeah. And then I'm going to put a large park in. Large one, yeah. A large park in right here. And then I'm thinking that we put the elementary school over here, but I purposely put it on this side of the neighborhood because this we're going to put an elementary school on this side of this neighborhood. It's not uncommon for them to be that close together. So we don't want to use a standard one again. Which one looks good in this area? I like that one. Actually, I kind of like that at the end of the road there, end of that main road. Yeah, I kind of like that. Because they would probably have a hard time selling houses along this main road, and really along this interstate, but That would, I think that would work perfectly. And then maybe take a small playground, place it right there. Actually, we're going to yeah, do the large playground there. And then I'm thinking maybe a dog park in here somewhere. Well, maybe right here. Although the interstate might spook the dogs a little bit. But maybe right here, at the end of this road. And as you come into the neighborhood, put a dog park in there. And then we'll go ahead and connect the rest of the walkways. And I grabbed the wrong, yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and pull a walking path all the way down here. Ooh, it's a little clipping there. So it's clipping the edge of the dog park. So we're going to pull this over here and then move this back there. Make this a little bit, yeah, which is fine. I guess that's because the paint, reason why it didn't show up there. There we go. Which is fine. That looks good like that. And then we'll pull the remainder of this walking path. Backside of the school. There we go. That way it connects to this main road. Gives a little bit more walkability of the neighborhood, and also it adds a few benefits to the residents there. Connects to these roads here too. Again, we're going to do a small commercial area here. I think I may do a small road off of here, and then maybe have it loop around to connect to here, maybe, or maybe even connect to this road. That's what I might do there. And I'm going to grab each one of these and pull them and connect them to the road. So I'll do that. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Connected all those walkways to the roads there. Got everything straight there. And then what we're going to do now is put this small commercial road in here. And come off of here and do a sharp turn. all the way down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna here. And then if you put it in here, if you put it right here, traffic is fine. Try to cut through this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna arc this over. Come off of there and just do a 90-degree right into that. I think that looks good there. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and add parking for the park right here. Let's see how that looks. Actually, kind of like that. And then maybe do, I don't know how this will work. We can make that work though, because I'm going to add some more trees to that park here in a minute and kind of spruce it up a little bit more. Alright, and then with the walkways through there, that works. So now go ahead and add the zones in. And this is all going to be low density residential. Yeah, when you're putting these walkways in, pay attention because some of these bleed over. So you have to go in. Eliminate a few of them. A few zones here. Like right here. Just eliminate that. Right here. And then actually, right there, there's another two. See if there's any more over here. Right there, take those two out. That one there, that one there. There's one. Try to get those two in there. Alright, I think we got them all. Yeah. So all those houses should come in nicely now. I'm going to go ahead and add a parking lot to the school. And I need to be really, actually that fits perfectly, but I think that's too large for that school. I don't think we need something that large. Have events, parent night, grandparents day, that type of thing. So maybe we'll leave that. We'll leave that there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave that there. I mean, that's an awful big parking lot for that school, but we'll leave it there for now. And then we'll go in and zone some low density commercial in this area here. And just to fill all this in. There we go. And we're going to leave that just like that for now. I think I may go in with anarchy eventually and eliminate the zoning on this road. So we got zoning all the way. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that. You take it's a road with a median, so I believe it's this one. I'm going with anarchy, and I think that's anarchy. Maybe it's no pillars mod. But either way, it takes the zoning out of it. So then when you upgrade it, you just upgrade it. And it cancels the zoning on all of it. So there's no zoning here. It transfers it over to this one here. So then you can go into the zoning, low density, and you have a full 4 tiles all the way over. Another solution there, instead of using that particular mod, is you could put a fence from the industries DLC right along there, and that eliminates the zoning also. You can do that. That's another solution, but I think we'll leave it like that. So that's a nice area for stores and things like that. I don't think they would run a road through there to that. They might, just because of the convenience. Not to mention this is kind of a cul-de-sac, so you only got one entrance in here. So I think it might be, yeah, that's probably what they would do in real life. They would run a road. Yeah, they would run a road, right? Yeah, to connect it so that way you have multiple entrances in and out of the neighborhood. And then maybe even run a road that direction. So that way you can get in and out of the neighborhood in more than one road, in case there's a car accident there or something happened that you couldn't get out that particular road. I think that looks pretty good there. If you liked my content, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I've got new content coming out all the time. And as always, commit to do the long game.